Open this with saying that I really love how obvious the change of seasons become when they're presented in a visual form. You know, like how when people record their children on every birthday and you can see time evolve like that. So I'm mentioning it because in my readings, you can tell by the things that I'm wearing what the season is, and I like I like seeing that through my own evolution. So anyway, hi. Do I even need to say anything? Do I even need to talk too much? You know what I'm saying? There's not much to say. Again, these things tend to mostly be for me and taking the hua hua inside of my head and lining it out into something that just I'm able to understand. Like, as long as I feel myself when I watch this shit back, that's all that matters. And I'm always so grateful for something as grounding as this, so simple, so self involved, honestly, so me, like just me and me. I could have just left these as recordings inside of my PC, but even something about sharing them is like a spell within itself of me being able to say, this is who the fuck I am. And yeah, I'm not trying to hide it or keep it a secret. This is who I am. So maybe, or not maybe, I think that's a channeling in and of itself that a lot of, there's a lot of hua in the world. There's a lot of discombobulation, distractions, all that shit. But it's really like starting to get real that focusing is our responsibility, and it's not going to get any less distracting, chaotic. Like, it's not going to stop. You know what I mean? We really do have to acclimatize to where the world is heading in terms of how bustle it is. So in all of that chaos, I think for me the most simplest answer is obviously all that stuff: presence, focus, grounding, connection to the divine, da 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 da. But again, like, it's been so difficult to grapple with the simplicity of it. It really doesn't have to be too much. It really doesn't. You really don't have to do too much. And you are really, really forgiven through everything that you do, genuinely. So why aren't you forgiving yourself? Why are we taking so long to forgive ourselves for stuff? Why are we taking so long to release expectation, to surrender? Why is it so difficult to figure out? I know why, but it's like, how much longer is it going to be so difficult to figure out? There's supposed to be this, and now you're about to hear my ramblings. There's supposed to be this breakthrough. There's supposed to be a breakthrough moment, right? There's supposed to be this, like, oh, the thing that I've been talking about. And I've mentioned before, it happens in waves, but I guess the waves themselves are irritating. So you get the moment, you get the miracle moment, then you, I guess, integrate it and you run with it, and you run with this new realization and the light and uplifting energy that it's giving you. Then time starts to pass, and before you know it, you're out of juice. And then suddenly you realize that you're so out of juice that it's actually really bad. And you don't know how to find your way back to wherever that miracle was. And then it's like that inner voice that keeps reminding you, be still, just wait, be patient, you're fine. The moment is fine. I have my decks facing me, and this was at the bottom of the intuitive tarot deck, which is very much the vibe, being this baby and relaxing, really relaxing, and allowing the mother universe to take care of you on time, really, really on time. So on time that you almost died. You almost got taken out there, but you made it just in the nick of time, as the love of God tends to do. Health is a very big, important thing, and health linked to your awareness and your grounding is going to be very important. I think that we have leveled up in I feel like there's been a level up in the connection between our consciousness and our physical body in sensitivity, where it's going to start, this ascension, this light ascension thing that everybody's talking about how our bodies are going to start changing to match the amount of light that is penetrating through our energetic body. Do you know that thing of how those things, the upgrades and all of that? If you don't get it, then leave what I'm saying. But if you do, something about that state of Christ consciousness has to accommodate or has to match, let's say, with the state of our minds, which matches the state of our health. So something about the recollaboration of all of that is happening such that I believe a lot of people are going to get sick. It will play out as the physical manifestation of you being around someone who's sick, or you going out and no one's sick, but you come back and suddenly you're sick, or you just falling ill. You're just sick, or you're really, really, really tired. They're very, very simple the way that they play out in real life, but I believe part of why that's happening is because it has an energetic thing to it that you can accommodate by making sure that you are grounded, connected to the divine, but in the most simplest way, making sure that you're breathing, and you're breathing deeply and with a reverence and like an aware presence of your body's functions and your body's ability to do things. Like if you can breathe and feel a deep gratitude and compassion for your body's systems and just keep doing that. Yeah, no, that's it. That's all I can recommend to you. Just keep doing that. Not even for the sake of results, but I do think that if you do that for a long enough period of time, you'll feel that you'll bump into that feeling of a miracle or whatever, that relief. I think honestly, it's so easy. It's so easy to attain just instantaneous peace and happiness right now, as if right now in this moment you've come into a miracle. I really believe it's the easiest thing ever. But it requires constant attention to the things that can bring about that feeling and frequency that are in your power. And I think that the most present thing in our power right now is our breath and our ability to be with our body and the way that our body feels. That's the pathway to heaven, fully in the moment. And I really objectively believe that as a fact. And I'd like debate somebody for hours and hours because I know I'm right about that. So it's definitely keep up with your health season in whatever way you see fit. But I do think that there's something valuable in building a resilience with the mind-body connection and sitting with the sensations. If you feel ill, sit with the sensations and the discomforts that come up. Be intimate with that so that you can be intimate with your healing. And in my opinion, if you do that, and if you treat the tunnel of sickness as some kind of initiation or whatever, and you make sure that you're as present as possible with all the sensations, then by the time it's done, you'll find such an intense, I know that it happens already, but because of how you treated it while you were in the tunnel, I do believe it'll affect how you feel when you're out of it. So the appreciation you feel for your body's health and your ability to breathe and clear nostrils and all those little things, they'll sit a lot nicer, And in that sense, that's also that's pretty much life. That's all that life is. It's really that simple. Chasing those sensations so that you can feel good. And then from a place of feeling good, you do things that are good, feel good for you. You bring in more of that. Being a good doctor, being a good energy doctor, for yourself though. But also bearing in mind, with all of that, bearing in mind that fuck what I say, fuck what anybody on the internet says, and what's really important is you and what you feel. There's a part of you that you may not be fully aware of, but if you fight to listen to it and be aware of it, it will make its presence known to you. That knows exactly what to do about how to give you the best life you can live. Ever happiness forever. There's a part of you that knows what decisions to make, what food to eat, which places to go, which places to leave at what time, that can jump out when you need it. But you need to open the door for it. That's the chat. That's been the main chat. So anyway, trust that part of you more than you ever have before. Know that that part of you is a direct reflection of God. Yeah. And then take it from there. Let you do you, you know? Especially right now. Really wonder about the stories that are coming up. We have the Empress again. Shout out. Thank you. Page of Pentacles. Two of Wands. The Empress. The Magician. Four of Swords beneath the deck. 10 of Pentacles. Amen. I'm grateful for how many times the 10 of Pentacles shows up, especially along with the Four of Swords when we've done enough of this. There's been a lot of this, a lot of stillness. If you relate to my story and experience of being, I don't know, something about our story sometimes feels a little bit like a stop-start engine or a really, really old car that goes and when it runs and it's running, but it's old and it's running, and then it shuts down, and then it stays quiet for a while, and then you need to like keep starting from the beginning, keep asking yourself, keep starting from the beginning and keep holding the journey in mind, because what you're experiencing right now isn't really giving much growth or motion or like actual excitement, you know, like some kind of big leap or anything. It feels like it's been a very long time of that. Grafting, planning, starting over, learning how to be an amateur, learning how to be bad at things, how to be uncomfortable, learning how to be patient, how to wait. No, not so much learning how to go, focusing a lot on how to be still and move with a sense of observation. Refining our energies and our will. I've been contemplating a lot about people who have a big influence, not just like people who are social media influencers, but people who, without social media or anything, have a presence to them. There's something about, as I mentioned before, there's something about the way that they cook their good energy that makes it clear what they're about, what they believe in, who they are, and how they're sure about those ideals. But all of that linking more to the fact that they're sure about their ability to get shit done. They have an energy and a frequency to them. They're sure about it. They're sure about how to translate it and how to communicate it. I think that's a big idea of influence right now. If you know who you are and you're sure about how to take it from inside here to outside, yeah. Perfect. And holding all of that sense of who you are with an understanding of compassion for yourself instead of shame, because I think that that's something that is going to be a big theme. I've been saying actually it is a huge theme right now. It's so prevalent, and it's so difficult to point only to that, especially with somebody who seems to be processing something so much more than that, or it's coming out in different forms like relationship drama, friendship drama, work drama, whatever. The root of all of that fucking drama is shame and a lack of compassion of the self, and like that sense of self within you not having a safe place, where you're not a safe place for yourself, so you start projecting and being an unsafe place for others. A lot of that shit is coming up right now. A lot of us need to figure out from that sense, I believe, how it is that we can start living our lives, you know? I would also I feel called to say, no more working for money, no more working in the name of money, but more in the name of what you are here to do that makes you that I guess perpetuates the safe place that you need. So for example, this social media presence that I'm creating through my YouTube, through my tarot stuff, that is me trying to do that. Because while I love hearing myself speak and talking to myself, I've mentioned before, there is a version of me that needed someone like me posting these kinds of readings on YouTube, these kinds of tarot readings, not the relationship, you're on this person's mind, love reading, direct career readings. I needed somebody who could reach into the subconscious layer of the living experience and get deep and grimy with it so that I could face more of myself, because I think that's also the general journey. So any ways that you can face yourself, finding ways that you can face yourself, ways of being, that's what I'm receiving. Finding ways of being that offer a safe place for the place inside of you that needs it. And letting that be your work in whatever way that means. This is a complicated bridge. It's a complicated link to make, but it works, like how some people, like how somebody's family member will die of cancer and then they'll study to be a doctor so they could do research on that cancer. Something like that. So that's extreme. But like I said, with my little tarot videos, it can be that simple. It can be that simple. Maybe you are a writer, or you're somebody who's always been passionate about storytelling. And added to that, you feel you have an untold story. Write the story. Start writing a fucking book, or write little poems. And again, with an added layer to your sense of action and willpower, and I can do this, post it somewhere. Use technology and the internet and where we're at today to, put yourself out there, connect, build a community of people who can critique you. Find maybe the business of trying to find somebody who relates to you is too far, although with the power of the internet, you will find at least one person who can hold you and see you, and recognize you and say, I totally fucking get that. Posting is a magical thing. But anyway, I've lost that train of thought. But I did want to also highlight the message and energy of the Four of Swords to say that there's no deep pressure to make something happen right now. You'd think otherwise, especially considering that we have just passed by. I'm recording this the day after the Aries equinox. Happy Aries season. That feels celebratory for its energy, its go, go, go vibe, and the change of seasons in the respective hemispheres. Keep prioritizing slow progress. This is also giving that. Keep respecting your process. Keep respecting your process. Don't rush. That will be I'm getting the frequency of the fact that if you do try to rush, you will not be successful in it. It's like the universe's hand is pressing you here. You're going to rush and burn out energy. You're not going to move. You're being pressed. The doors are concrete locked, and you will not be let out until the time is right. But until then, keep dreaming. Keep questioning that thing that I brought up with regards to the energy of the empress. What does a safe space look like for you? That little child within you that holds some sense of shame of their inability to do things or to fix problems, or like that part of you that is not faithful to the fact that things work out. What do you need in order to believe that? What would you need? Like I said, with my little tarot videos, most of the time, I just need somebody with a strong, stern voice and a specific tone like mine to say, shit's gonna be okay. You will be fine. And I just need that every now and then, So with you, what do you need? You can keep it really simple. and then let it inspire you to start posting YouTube videos. You know what I mean? Or to start becoming a content creator, or to fucking change jobs. Guys, so many people are stuck in career positions right now, and they're so sure about it purely because of the money, but you have no idea how much you are stunting your ability to understand what's ahead of you because of how stuck you are in what's in front of you. A lot of people need to resign. And I would do it before the universe forces me into it. It just, as a Scorpio stellium, I always mention it. As a Scorpio stellium. Anyway, as somebody who experiences Pluto as my ruler, you don't want to have to be stubborn to change and have the universe kick you out, and then you're left with bruises, versus making the decision to gracefully leave. Realize that your time is done in certain things and take initiative. Take the thing to do the thing. But also, not yet. Sorry. I really want to. This feels very important. This feels like, even for me, like, don't move too fast. Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm going to close with an intuitive tarot card. The Huge. Of course. Did you see that? That was really cool, by the way. I wonder how much that was sick. Huh? Fucking sick. The Magician again, boy, and the Hierophant. Sure. Yeah. 3 of Swords. We still have a lot of pain in the way, man. It sucks. It's so annoying to keep facing this, but we've been through some shit. And because of the amount of shit that we've been through, we need to give ourselves an adequate amount of time to clear all of that shit out, have the wheel properly correct itself, and then things can happen. But we have to be patient to the process of clearing that pain out. The things we've been through is no joke. The pain we've processed is no joke. We have to be respectful to that part of ourselves. And we have to pray. Keep doing that spiritual work. Ugh. Gosh, guys. I love it. Okay, I love all of this. I ride for God, but sometimes there are some days where I'm just really fucking tired and I really don't feel like doing any of it. And I just the idea of having to engage in it, it feels slow. It feels like, oh my God, you know, it feels like school. It feels like school, but yeah, it's the one thing. It's the best school ever. A new cycle of life, change, the opportunity to alter your perceptions and thus improve your life, feeling part of the cosmic cycle, rewriting the past, allowing a sense of freedom in how you could be, the workings of fate or karma, good fortune. The sentence, the opportunity to alter your perceptions and thus improve your life, I think is what stands out most, with the presence of the Magician showing up twice. And the way the Empress showed up twice as well. And then we have the 2 of Wands. This speaks directly of that, altering perceptions to letting in a new way of thinking. That will then ultimately be the thing that propels you forward into a new reality. It's all going to be you. It's you who saves you. It was you the entire time, and it didn't take anything else but divine surrender, which is the easiest and the hardest thing imaginable, right? Please remember the good luck of this message as well, the good fortune of this card. In the Empress as well, the frequency of receiving. I do think that a lot of us are expecting this season. I'll speak for myself. Winter's not easy. It's never, ever, ever. It's always extremely difficult, actually. And considering how hard it has been, especially the past few years, I'm really anticipating some bullshit. But I've also been pulling cards and sitting with the energy, and I actually, wanted to communicate. If you're feeling the same way, then it's highly likely that we are over-dramatizing everything. And with the appearance of the 3 of Swords, we're really behaving from some past pain that just isn't true. We're making shit up, essentially, because we're used to what we've been presented with so far. We're doing that thing of sheep and being confined. And they're being confined over a period of time. And then one day the confinement owners removed the confinement, and the sheep still stayed and filtered out of that space through the gates, not realizing that the fence is gone. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing right now. We're in this confinement. We're still a little bit hurt, but life is life. And there's some really wonderful shit about life to come that really will make it a lot easier than it usually is. Like, yeah, that consistent messaging of it's really not going to be as bad as it was before. It really won't be. Nothing. It's done. It's really done. And you can take however that means for you and really like integrate it and take it seriously and stop expecting the worst all the time. I'm going to close the reading. I'm grateful for everybody who watches and tunes in. And I feel called to be specifically grateful for people who are brave enough to receive love and to give it, brave enough to be themselves. That's a really important currency right now. And I hope that we all continue to do that.